Books on a Boat with Garrett Wright. Great guy. Nice hair. What's up, Coach Gill's class? It's Garrett right here with your not monthly, quarterly Books on a Boat project. Once again on the Romanov family. I just finished it, so I'm going to get a new book next time, Coach Gill. Sad I am, because I really miss the Romanov family, Even though it happened like 100 years ago, it's sad to see my boy Nicky die. So, thesis for this one is the Romanovs, they really didn't have any other choice than to be killed, because spoiler alert, they get killed in the end. Nicholas, his whole family, and his servants, get they get shot in the basement in the end. Sad I was. Even the kids, servants, all they wanted was a paycheck. They didn't want to die with them. All I'm saying. And could you believe it? It happened with the Colt pistol. But I'm getting off topic. Anyways, thesis for this one is they couldn't escape their fate because they couldn't seek refuge in England. They couldn't stay in Sarcosello, which is like basically their house. I'd say it's their house. And the civilians already use violence pretty often, and like they're just used to it. They're just used to killing folk. All right. Number one, they couldn't seek refuge in England. So many people don't know this, but Germany, England, and Russia, at the time of like early 1900s, all their rulers were like cousins. So like England was cousin to Russia. Russia had a cousin to Germany. It was like a whole circle. So much so that I think Nicholas married his cousin. Yeah, it was a German woman by the name of, I think she took Alexandra after she took the throne as Queen of Russia. Or Tsar S, or whatever the female position of Tsar is. But yeah. So like they could have the King of England actually offered them, hey yo, you want to seek refuge in here? I know your country's kind of crazy right now. And immediately after he said that, the whole English populace was like, hell no. Sorry, I said it wouldn't curse. Heck no. You ain't letting those guys in here. And then he was like, I bet. Sorry, cousin. Can't let you in. That's how negative the view was on Nicholas. He just always seen as a bad ruler wherever he went. Mostly because that thing I talked about last time, the Bloody Sunday, where like they trampled like 13,000 people because they just wanted to. Oh wait, no, Bloody Sunday was cut that, Garrett. Bloody Sunday was when they fired upon Father Gapon and his boys because they just wanted to like peacefully say, hey yo, we're hungry, can we get some food please? So yeah, not a very good reputation after that. Here's the quote for the first one. Editing Garrett, stick with me. At first, everyone believed they would be sent to England. Not only was King George V related to Nicholas and Alexandra, he had even offered them refuge in his country. That spring, however, King George received thousands of letters from incensed British citizens. Big words. They saw German-born Alexandria, which is Tsar's wife, great lady, but German, and World War I was raging at the time, so they didn't really like Germany at that point. And they saw her as an enemy. Worried public opinion might boil over as it had in Russia, King George withdrew his invitation. That's a quote directly from the book, except for my ad libs. But yeah, people weren't too happy. Then point number two, he couldn't stay in Sarcosello. That was basically his home, other than the Winter Palace, which was like the main home of Tsars for hundreds of years. Sorry, not thousands, hundreds of years before them. And then Alexandra was like, "Hey yo, I hate the city. Everybody hates me in the city, so I'm just gonna go make my own palace if that's okay." And Nikki there, and she was like, "Hey yo, Nicholas, can we live in here forever and barely go to the Winter Palace?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And that's just what happened. But yeah, then everybody was like, "Hey yo, sucks, doesn't it? You starved us, now you're starving Gates." It really wasn't that bad in Sarcosello, but they were getting pummeled a whole lot by civilians, and I think the soldiers at the time hated them a lot, and then they started showing sympathy on them. But yeah, couldn't stand Sarcosello though, too close to Petrograd, which is like head capital of Russia. Then, quote for point number 2 was, "Hours earlier, a mob of rebellious soldiers arrived in the town of Sarcosello. They had come, they shouted for that German woman." That German woman. Didn't even recognize her as the queen. And her son. So yeah. Alexei, don't know how to pronounce his name. He had a big thing with hemophilia, I think it was called, where it, like you got a bruise and then you just had to stay in bed for like a week because you were just worthless. Yeah, he had a blood disorder or something like that. And they were shouting for the son. He was shouting for a sick man. "Hey, yo, bring him down here. We're totally not going to kill him if you think about it." Gosh. Anyways, point number 3. Civilians had already used violence and they were just used to it. They're just like, okay, whatever. Like, it was just common practice at this point. Like, "Hey, yo, can I get a piece of bread?" "No." "All right, then." And then they just told him at gunpoint, "Take the bread." It was just used to it. It was just like, it was like a credit card nowadays. You use it everywhere. It works everywhere. And you just stick to it because it's easy. But yeah, they had to be killed. Violence was just so prominent at the time. They couldn't escape it. And I have a quote from the book itself. And here's quote number 3 for point number 3. "The arrest was purely for security reasons." Now this quote takes place after like they surrounded the like Winter Palace, I think they were at the time. They surrounded the Winter Palace and were like, "Hey yo, we ain't having it. Down with the Tsar." It's like the first major revolution, I'd say. And they were like, "Hey yo." But anyway, here's the quote immediately after that from, I think this was said directly to Alexandra by the head of the provisional government that took over for the Tsar at the time. "The arrest was purely for security reasons. The arrest was purely for security reasons. A representative of the provisional government, General L.G. Kornilov, had explained to Alexandra earlier that day it was the only way to protect her from the angry mobs." Imagine Joe Biden being in so much trouble with the populace that they had to put him under arrest just to keep him safe. That's how things were. Just imagine a president under arrest, like confined to quarters, basically. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane, my dog. But yeah, I think that's the end of our thing here. And also, it looks beautiful out today. Look at that. It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful because it's never too cold to be on a boat. It's never too cold to be on a boat. And you can quote me on that. Put that on your freaking senior quotes, senior year. Yeah, it's never too cold to be on a boat. Get it right. You won't. You won't. This is peer pressure. You won't do it. And with that, it's been Books on a Boat. See you, Coach Gill. See you, class. Thanks for watching Books on a Boat. I feel like it's only customary to give y'all an extra bonus clip of something funny I did over the past couple of days, so I'll send that over right after I stop talking. So with that, yeah, thanks for watching. See ya. See ya, Coach Gill. You're the only one watching this. Hey, Coach Gill's class, Garrett here. I got something for you. A test, if you will. Now, these are Civil War muskets, balls, or what's left of one after being shot. Got two. I have two questions for you. First question. Uh, what was the name of Alexi's medical condition? Okay, you gotta name it. First one to raise their hand. You know the rules. Second question. What was the name of Nicholas's main crib? Okay. Whoever answers those correctly gets one. And with that, I'll see you, Coach Gill, and I'll see you, class.